If car repairs feel more confusing and expensive than they used to, you've likely paid for a repair you didn't actually need. According to American Automobile Association, drivers overspend over $7 billion a year on unnecessary repairs, often without realizing it. In this video, I'm breaking down the 15 biggest auto repair scams every driver needs to know. Clear, practical, and experience-based. Make sure you watch closely, because scam number 5 catches more drivers than any other. Scam number 15. The fear-pressure play. This is one of the oldest tricks in the book, and it still works, especially on experienced drivers who care deeply about safety. You bring your car in for something simple, maybe an oil change, and suddenly the tone shifts. You're told a belt, hose, or suspension part is about to fail, and that driving any farther could be dangerous. No measurements, no proof, just urgency. Here's the truth. Worn does not mean unsafe. Many components age gradually and can safely last thousands more miles. Investigations by Consumer Reports and AAA have shown that a large number of these critical repairs weren't critical at all. In fact, second opinions often reveal the part was nowhere near failure. I've personally seen this happen. I've watched a 67-year-old driver be told their serpentine belt would snap at any moment, only for another shop to inspect it, measure it properly, and confirm it still had at least 20,000 miles of life left. The first shop relied on fear. The second relied on facts. This tactic works because it plays on natural caution and trust. When a repair is framed as a safety issue, most people feel pressure to act immediately rather than risk something going wrong later. That hesitation to question authority is exactly what some shops count on. The protection is simple. Ask to see the part, request actual measurements, and ask one key question. Is this unsafe today or just recommended? If they can't answer clearly, you have your answer. Once fear gets you to say yes quickly, the next scam shows up disguised as smart preventive maintenance. Scam number 14, the transmission flush trap. This scam is often sold as smart preventive maintenance, and at first glance, it sounds logical. You're told that old transmission fluid wears out, collects debris, and that flushing it out will protect the transmission and extend its life. The problem is that this advice is frequently given without any regard for the vehicle's age, mileage, or manufacturer recommendations. Here's the truth. Many transmissions, especially higher mileage ones, are not designed to be flushed under pressure. Several manufacturers, including Honda, Toyota, and Ford, state in their service guidelines that routine transmission flushing is not required and, in some cases, not recommended. AAA investigations have also found that transmission flushes are among the most commonly upsold services that drivers don't actually need. I've watched vehicles that shifted perfectly fine go in for a routine flush and come out with delayed engagement or slipping that started almost immediately afterward. In multiple cases, the explanation given was bad timing, even though the problem appeared right after the service. Industry data shows transmission replacements can cost anywhere from $3,000 to over $7,000, making this one of the most expensive mistakes a driver can unknowingly authorize. This scam works because it sounds responsible and preventative. The word flush implies cleanliness and protection, and many people assume more maintenance must be better maintenance. The protection is simple. Follow the manufacturer's service schedule exactly. If transmission service is recommended, ask whether a drain and fill is appropriate. And if your transmission is shifting normally, think very carefully before authorizing a flush. After you're sold on prevention, the next trick convinces you to fix something that isn't actually worn out yet. Scam number 13, the phantom brake job. This scam is one of the easiest to sell and one of the hardest for drivers to challenge. You bring your car in for routine service, and suddenly you're told your brakes are dangerously low and need immediate replacement. The urgency is clear. The word brakes grabs attention, and most people don't feel comfortable driving away without approving the repair. Here's the truth. Brake pads wear gradually, and modern pads are designed to last far longer than many shops admit. Consumer Reports and AAA inspections have found numerous cases where pads labeled as critical still had 50 to 70% of their usable life remaining. Worn does not mean unsafe, and recommended does not mean required. I have experience firsthand. A Toyota Camry brought in for an oil change and flagged for an urgent brake job, even though the pad still measured 7 millimeters, well above the typical replacement threshold of 3 millimeters. A second inspection confirmed no safety issue at all. This scam works because brakes are directly tied to safety, and safety conversations shut down questions. When someone hears dangerous, logic often takes a back seat. The protection is simple. Ask for the brake pad thickness in millimeters, not opinions. Request to see the pads yourself and ask whether the brakes are unsafe today or simply approaching future service. Clear answers reveal honest shops quickly. When safety is used to rush brake work, the next scam claims to clean a problem your engine may not even have. Scam number 12, the engine detox illusion. This scam is often marketed as a high-tech solution to a problem most engines don't actually have. You're told carbon buildup is quietly robbing your engine of power, fuel economy, and longevity, and that a special cleaning service will restore performance. The presentation sounds scientific, the machines look impressive, and the price tag suggests it must be doing something important. Here's the truth. For the majority of modern engines, especially those that are regularly driven and properly maintained, these carbon cleaning services offer little to no measurable benefit. Independent testing and automotive studies have shown no consistent improvement in horsepower, fuel economy, or drivability after these treatments. In many cases, the service is nothing more than a chemical sprayed into the intake. I've seen this play out clearly. In 2021, I watched a 65-year-old driver with a 2016 Honda Accord pay several $100s for an engine carbon detox. Before and after the service, the car drove exactly the same. Fuel economy didn't change, idle quality didn't improve, and there were no warning signs to begin with that justified the service. This scam works because it taps into a desire to protect the engine long-term. When the goal is longevity, vague threats about hidden damage can sound convincing. The protection is simple. Stick to quality fuel, regular oil changes, and the manufacturer's maintenance schedule. If a shop can't show clear evidence of a problem, a cleaning service usually isn't the solution. Once you believe invisible buildup is hurting your car, the next pitch insists only factory parts can save it. Scam number 11, the factory-only parts myth. You're told your car must use factory-only parts or risk poor performance, safety issues, or even losing your warranty. The price is usually much higher, and the warning is presented as absolute. For many drivers, that claim alone is enough to end the discussion. Here's the truth. Under US federal law, specifically the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, a manufacturer cannot void your vehicle warranty simply because you used aftermarket parts. The only exception is if they can prove that the aftermarket part directly caused the failure being claimed. Independent automotive studies also show that many high-quality aftermarket parts are produced by the same suppliers that manufacture original equipment components. I've seen this firsthand. In 2022, I watched a 71-year-old driver with a 2014 Ford Escape quoted nearly double the cost for factory-only brake parts, with the warning that aftermarket parts would affect the warranty. A second shop installed Tier 1 aftermarket components with equivalent specifications and warranty coverage, saving hundreds with no impact on vehicle reliability. This tactic works because factory sounds safer and final, even when it's misleading. The fear of risking a warranty shuts down questions fast. The protection is simple. Ask what proof exists that a non-factory part would void coverage. If they can't show it, the claim doesn't hold. And after you're convinced there's only one safe option, even routine repairs suddenly cost far more than they should. Scam number 10, the mystery scan charge. This scam usually starts with a warning light and ends with a bill that explains nothing. You're told the car needs to be diagnosed. A scan is performed, and suddenly you're charged a hefty fee, sometimes $150 or more. When you ask what's wrong, the explanation is vague. The computer found several codes. No clarity, no plan, just a charge. Here's the truth. A diagnostic fee is supposed to buy expertise, not confusion. Plugging in a scan tool takes minutes. What you're actually paying for is the technician's ability to interpret those codes and explain what matters. Too often, that part never happens. Consumer protection agencies have flagged diagnostic fee abuse as a growing complaint, especially when no clear repair recommendation follows. I've seen a 68-year-old driver charged $180 for a diagnostic scan, only to be told the vehicle had multiple codes without any explanation of severity, cause, or next steps. No repair plan was offered, just uncertainty and pressure to approve further work. This scam works because technical language shuts down questions. When terms sound complex, people assume the information is beyond them and hesitate to push back. The protection is simple. Ask for the printed fault codes, ask what each one means, and ask what actually needs fixing now. A real diagnostic should always come with real answers. Thanks for sticking with me this far. It shows you care about protecting your car and your money. If you want more real-world breakdowns of scams drivers fall for every day, hit like and subscribe. The next ones catch even more people off guard. Scam number 9. The bait and switch sell. This scam begins with something familiar and harmless. You come in for a basic service, an oil change, a tire rotation, maybe a routine inspection. The price seems reasonable and nothing feels out of place. Then, halfway through the visit, the call comes in. Suddenly, there's a long list of additional issues that weren't mentioned before, and the original service feels impossible to complete without approving more work. Here's the truth. Many of these add-on repairs are discovered not because they're urgent, but because the car is already on the lift. What starts as a low-cost service becomes a high-pressure sales moment. Consumer complaints consistently show that bait and switch upselling is one of the most common repair shop tactics, especially during routine maintenance visits. I've seen this happen repeatedly. I've watched a simple oil change turn into a 4-figure estimate, with items like flushes, filters, and adjustments bundled together without clear explanations of urgency or necessity. When questioned, the response is often vague. We're already in there. This scam works because it catches people off guard. Once the car is disassembled or lifted, walking away feels inconvenient and risky. The protection is simple. Approve one service at a time. Ask which items are safety critical today and which can wait. Honest shops respect boundaries. Pushy ones reveal themselves quickly. And once a shop realizes pressure won't work, the next tactic often shifts to something harder to question. Software updates you're told your car needs. Scam number 8. The software update. Upsell. Modern vehicles rely heavily on software, and that has opened the door to a new kind of repair upsell. You're told your car needs a software update to fix performance issues, warning lights, or prevent future problems. The explanation is usually vague, but the charge is very real, often $100 to $300 for a procedure that takes minutes. Here's the truth. Most software updates are performed only when needed, and many are done free of charge during warranty repairs, recalls, or dealer service campaigns. Automakers issue technical service bulletins, not routine update schedules. Independent testing shows that random software updates rarely improve drivability unless a specific problem exists. I've seen this firsthand. In 2023, I watched a 69-year-old driver with a 2018 Toyota Camry charge $225 for a mandatory software update, even though no fault codes were present and no drivability issues existed. A dealer later confirmed no update was required for that vehicle at all. This scam works particularly well because software feels invisible and unchallengeable. Many older drivers didn't grow up with computer-controlled vehicles, so when a shop says the system needs updating, it sounds authoritative and urgent. The protection is simple. Ask what specific problem the update fixes and whether it's required by the manufacturer. If they can't answer clearly, don't authorize it. Scam number 7. The synthetic oil push. You go in for a routine oil change, and before the hood is even closed, you're told your engine needs full synthetic oil. The price is usually double or more, and the explanation sounds convincing. Better protection, longer life, fewer problems. For many drivers who value longevity, saying no feels risky. Here's the truth. Oil type is not a preference, it's an engineering requirement. Automakers specify oil viscosity and type based on engine design, and many engines, especially those built in the early to mid-2000s, were designed to run perfectly on conventional or synthetic blend oil. Using full synthetic when it isn't required does not add extra protection. According to manufacturer service guides, the correct oil, not the most expensive one, is what protects the engine. I've seen this happen often. I watched a 62-year-old driver with a 2008 Toyota Corolla repeatedly upsold full synthetic oil at nearly $90 per change, even though the owner's manual specified conventional oil. Over 5 years, that unnecessary upgrade cost several $100s with zero measurable benefit. This scam works because synthetic sounds advanced and safer. It also plays on the idea that older engines need extra help, which isn't always true. The protection is simple. Follow the oil type listed in your owner's manual. If synthetic isn't required, you're paying more, not protecting more. And after you're convinced more expensive means safer, the next scare tactic turns a warning light into instant panic. Scam number 6, the check engine light panic. Few things create anxiety like seeing the check engine light come on. For many drivers, especially those who rely on their car daily, that glowing icon feels like a warning of expensive trouble ahead. Some shops take advantage of that fear, immediately framing the light as a major engine failure before any real diagnosis is done. Here's the truth. According to AAA data, nearly 50% of check engine light triggers are caused by minor issues, such as a loose gas cap, aging sensors, or temporary emissions faults. Yet drivers are often quoted repairs ranging from $300 to $2,000 before the actual cause is even confirmed. The light itself does not indicate severity. It simply means the system detected something outside normal range. I've seen this play out many times. I watched a 66-year-old driver panic over a check engine light and authorize a costly repair estimate, only to later discover the issue was a faulty gas cap that cost under $20 to replace. The car was never in danger, but the fear made the decision for them. This scam works because uncertainty creates pressure. When people don't know what the light means, they assume the worst. The protection is simple. Get the fault codes read first. Many auto parts stores do it for free. Understand the code before approving repairs. A warning light is information, not a verdict. Thanks for staying with the video. Most people never make it this far, and that's exactly why these scams keep working. If this helped you think twice before approving a repair, tap like and subscribe for more clear, no-nonsense car advice. Scam number 5, the extra protection myth. You're told your engine needs an additional treatment, something poured in on top of your oil change to reduce wear, restore performance, or extend engine life. The bottle is small, the claims are big, and the cost is usually $20 to $60 per treatment. It sounds harmless, and for drivers focused on longevity, it feels like cheap insurance. Here's the truth. Modern engine oils are already fully formulated products. According to the American Petroleum Institute, API, and multiple automaker service bulletins, adding aftermarket oil additives can actually disrupt the carefully balanced chemistry of modern oils. Major manufacturers, including GM and Honda, explicitly state that supplemental oil additives are unnecessary and not recommended. I've seen this play out repeatedly. I watched a 64-year-old driver approve an engine protection treatment at every oil change, adding hundreds of dollars over a few years with no measurable benefit. The engine ran no quieter, burned no less oil, and showed no improvement in performance or efficiency. This scam works because additives sound scientific and proactive. The idea of extra protection appeals strongly to drivers who want their engines to last as long as possible. The protection is simple. Use the correct oil grade that meets the manufacturer's specification. If an additive were truly needed, it would already be in the oil. Once you're sold on added protection, the next upsell targets the easiest parts to replace and charges you the most for the convenience. Scam number 4, the 5-minute filter flip. You bring your car in for routine service, and before long, you're shown a dirty air filter or cabin filter. It's held up for effect, maybe tapped a few times, and you're told it needs immediate replacement. The price? Anywhere from $40 to $120 for a part that often costs $10 to $25 retail. Here's the truth. Air filters and cabin filters are among the easiest maintenance items on any vehicle. In most cars, they can be replaced in under 5 minutes with no tools. Automakers typically recommend changing engine air filters every 15,000 to 30,000 miles, and cabin filters even less frequently, depending on driving conditions. Not every visit. I've seen this countless times. I watched a 63-year-old driver charge nearly $100 to replace a cabin filter on a Honda CR-V. The filter itself cost $18, and the entire job could have been done in about 2 minutes from the glove box. There was no urgency, just convenience priced at a premium. This upsell works because the part looks dirty, and dirty feels wrong to ignore. Visual pressure replaces actual need. The protection is simple. Ask to see the replacement interval in your owner's manual and check the filter yourself. If you can change it at home, you just saved money instantly. After a quick swap drains your wallet, the next pitch promises savings that quietly cost you over and over again. Scam number 3, lifetime parts that cost you forever. The phrase lifetime warranty sounds reassuring. You're told the part will be replaced for free if it ever wears out. So paying a little more upfront feels like a smart, long-term decision. What often isn't explained clearly is what that lifetime actually covers. And more importantly, what it doesn't. Here's the truth. Most lifetime warranties cover the part only, not the labor. That means every time the part fails, you're paying again for installation. Over time, those labor charges can far exceed what a higher quality, longer-lasting part would have cost in the first place. Consumer complaints frequently show this happening with brake pads, alternators, and suspension components. I've seen this play out repeatedly. I watched a senior driver replace lifetime brake pads 3 times over several years. The pads were free, but each visit came with a labor bill that added up to far more than a premium set of pads installed once. This scam works because the word lifetime feels like protection, not repetition. It shifts focus away from total ownership cost and onto a misleading guarantee. The protection is simple. Ask how long the part typically lasts, what the labor costs are, and compare total cost over time. Sometimes paying once is far cheaper than paying forever. Once alignment fear sets in, the final tactic shuts down questions altogether. When lifetime sounds reassuring, the next scare claims your car isn't driving straight and won't for long. Scam number 2, the crooked ride scare. You're told your suspension is worn or your alignment is way off, often during a routine visit. The explanation is vague, but the warning is clear. Ignore it and you'll ruin your tires or lose control. Alignment services typically run $90 to $150, and suspension repairs can climb into the thousands. Here's the truth. Most vehicles only need alignment when there are clear symptoms: uneven tire wear, pulling to one side, or a crooked steering wheel. According to tire industry data, over 60% of alignment recommendations are made without documented symptoms or measurements. Suspension parts also wear gradually. Aged does not mean unsafe. I've seen cars flagged for alignment with perfectly even tire wear and straight tracking at highway speeds. No pull, no vibration, just a sales pitch. This works because suspension issues sound serious and hard to verify. The protection is simple. Ask for before and after alignment measurements and symptoms that justify the repair. No data, no decision. Once alignment fear sets in, the final tactic shuts down questions altogether. Scam number 1, the Trust Me shutdown. This scam doesn't involve a part. It involves attitude. You ask a reasonable question and get brushed off with, "It's complicated," or "You wouldn't understand." The goal is to stop the conversation and push approval. Here's the truth. Reputable technicians explain. According to consumer advocacy surveys, shops that refuse to explain repairs generate the highest number of billing disputes. Complexity is often used as a shield, not a necessity. I've seen drivers pressured into expensive repairs simply because they felt uncomfortable asking follow-up questions. Silence becomes consent. This tactic works because people don't want to feel embarrassed or difficult. The protection is simple. Any shop that won't explain a repair clearly doesn't deserve your business. Transparency isn't optional. It's the standard. And there you have it. The biggest auto repair scams drivers face every day, all designed to create fear, urgency, and confusion instead of clear information. If this video helped you feel more confident or saved you from an unnecessary repair, hit like and subscribe for more honest, mechanic-level advice. I'd also love to hear your experience, so drop a comment if you've ever been quoted a repair that didn't feel right. And be sure to check out the video Proven Habits That Make Your Car Last Over 500,000 Miles Without Repairs to learn how to keep your car reliable for the long run.